starting spot on this team.
And we are ready to go here. The second SEC opponent that the Hurricanes facing after already facing Texas, and already Arkansas registering the first point of the evening. And for the Razorbacks, got to focus on Romani Thurman. She is the co-offensive player of the week in the SEC. She leads the team, 131 kills, transfer from North Carolina. And she is one player definitely keep an eye on. A service error there in Arkansas, 1-1 here.
Well, I'm not surprised to see Hannah Hogue going for it from the end line. She is one of the most aggressive servers you're going to see on court today. So an ace and an error, that's kind of the going rate with her.
And Hogue actually leads the team with 11 aces coming in. The Hurricanes looking for the point here on their first time, and they will get it. So the Hurricanes take the lead for the first time, up 2-1.
I love that from Rodriguez, going immediately to her middle. One of the comments I was going to make is neither of these teams relies heavily on their middle, so you got to get it established right off the bat.
And Heredia Colon with the serve for the Hurricanes goes into the net. So a couple service errors each way, 2-2 so far here in the opening set.
And that's something I've noticed as well from Miami's team in the last couple of weeks. They'll warm into their serve. They'll get better as the match progresses.
Carney puts it over the net for the Hurricanes. And there's Thurman blocked at the net, and the Canes get a big block there. You know about those blocks, Key, and a 3-2 lead for the Canes.
I know a couple of things, a thing or two about a block, and that's a good-looking one, I have to tell you. You're always going to watch the penetration over the net, and you saw her arms go straight, low and tight, taking care of that window.
And Yadilis Rosado with the serve for Miami. And again, blocked at the net. Good dig there by Arkansas. Up to Thurman, and she can't get it. And the Hurricanes, again, playing very well at the net early on, a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, I'm loving the work right now from Carney. She's really taking care of that position. Look at her footwork as she moves, so her timing is what really makes her aggressive there, and she's able to finish that really, really strong over.
And Rosado with the serve for the Canes. And Hogue sets up for Thurman, and she will get the kill there. Arkansas back on the board, trailing 4-3.
Well, Arkansas had to keep going there. They had to keep trying that position because they can't go away from Thurman. She needs to be able to get those swings going, even if Carney's having success on that blocking spot.
Kylie Weeks now serving for the Razorbacks, redshirt sophomore from Nebraska. And Rodriguez sets it up there. Sent back over by Arkansas. It's going to go out of play, and the Razorbacks picking up the points to even things up at 4.
Yeah, good heads-up play there. A lot of momentum shifting back and forth every single point, but got to keep your head on a swivel in this match.
And Weeks back to serve for the Razorbacks. And Rodriguez sets up to Carney. There's Thurman again. Another kill for her. They're setting her up a lot right there, and Arkansas takes back the lead at 5-4.
Yeah, and it's a good touch there by Rosado, diving out to get a hand underneath it. But again, giving Thurman every single opportunity to swing. We know we're going to see a lot of ball to that angle today.
Back-to-back points for the Razorbacks here, up 5-4. Rodriguez up to Lopez. Another one goes into the net, and that's Olivia Huey picks up the kill there. And Arkansas now 3 in a row for a 6-4 lead.
Good little string of points there. Arkansas not letting anything shake them. Not a huge crowd here in the Miami gym, so they don't have a home court advantage really to work against.
And dealing with a lot of rain here in Coral Gables today. Lopez, big kill. And Grace Lopez, we talked about her in the Open, 20 kills against Texas, and gets her first tonight.
Yeah, she's going to warm up as we go throughout this game. Lefty loves a good swing. That one going straight down the line, so her range is what makes her so dangerous.
And Lopez will now go back to serve for the Hurricanes. They're blocked at the net. And Hogue sets it up, and there's another point for Huey. And that gives Arkansas the lead back up to 7-5.
Huey, one of those players who's gotten a fair bit of playing time over the last few weeks, but Coach Watson really working on that lineup, trying to find who's going to be in that starting role this summer.
And Huey entered the night, 57 kills on the season. Canes bouncing back with a point there. Dahlia Wilson picks up the kill. Canes back down 1. And here's Ava Carney with she'll be serving now, the transfer from Wake Forest. That one goes out of play and out of bounds. Arkansas picks up the point there. And a good one so far with the Razorbacks up by 2.
Yeah, they're being really aggressive against the block of Miami. We saw it not pay off a couple of times. The Miami block was there, but now they're adding a bit more speed and really having some success.
And here's Hui, the redshirt freshman from Salt Lake City with the serve. And again, blocked at the net there. There's Anaya Madkin.
I like that movement. She knew where that ball was going early. Almost read it before the setter had left the ball from her hands. Great read by the Razorbacks.
9-6 lead for Arkansas. We've seen a lot of play at the net so far through the first set, and that one goes just beyond the line, so a service error there on Arkansas, point for the Canes.
And I like the conversation there for the Canes. I know they've struggled in that Ohio State match. The reception was a big issue for them, so now that over-communication is so important.
Melina Moisiu back to serve for the Hurricanes, down 2. And Hogue keeps it in. And the Canes can't get it over the net. Lopez tried the first one, but couldn't get it over. Point back to Arkansas, 10-7.
Momentum traveling in Arkansas's direction right now, but they're doing such a good job of speeding that ball up. And I feel as though every single time they touch the ball, they're making it better. They're just making it really tough for the Canes to get any kind of rhythm.
Arkansas comes in tonight 8-1 so far on the season. Lopez with the kill there. So she's trying to get things going. Her second kill of the evening.
And she'll be really important as this match continues to unfold, and using her from the backcourt exactly like that. She loves a long, deep swing and touching those hands on the way through.
Here's Ariana Rodriguez with the serve for the Canes. And that one's going to hit the back corner there for Madkin. Third on the Razorbacks in kills entering tonight. 11-8 lead now for Arkansas.
Madkin, another one of those players that didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year, but now she started pretty much all but 3 matches. Head coach really trying to mix it up and figure out who's going to be the puzzle pieces this year.
And Rodriguez sets up for Heredia Cologne. Thurman goes long on that shot. Point for the Canes. Carney re-enters for Miami. Arkansas still with the lead, though. Canes went back and forth early, but so far Arkansas has maintained the lead, but the Canes looking to cut it to 1 here. Thurman. Set up there for Lopez, blocked at the net. And again, Arkansas, they're playing very well at the net. Get that point, back up by 3.
Yeah, and Lopez a little bit off the net there. Didn't have a huge opportunity to swing. Kind of swinging a little blindly. I think I would have liked to have her maybe tip, maybe roll. Those are the kind of things maybe that show the more maturity of a player.
And Courtney Jackson with the serve for Arkansas. Carney picks up a big kill there in the back corner.
Yeah, Miami needed that one. They needed a clean swing that was going to find the floor, struggling to kind of get that rhythm. But that's a really decisive swing by Carney through the blockers.
Hurricanes had dropped 2 of 3 last weekend in Columbus. They ended up the weekend beating Buffalo in 3 sets, but off the Texas win, had some struggles looking to rebound here back at home. Thurman picks up another kill, and she continues to play well. Co-offensive player of the week in the SEC last week, and entered the night with 131 kills so far, so she continues to play well, and the Razorbacks back up by 3.
Hoping everything's all right there. Rosado with a pretty hefty fall there as she went for that tip.
We have a quick stoppage of play here with Arkansas leading Miami 13-10. The opening set here of the 305 Challenge in Coral Gables. Canes will take on Texas Tech tomorrow, FIU on Saturday afternoon. And Arkansas obviously will be in town to take on Texas Tech and FIU as well, as Rosado walks off. Or actually, she'll stay in.
Yeah, and she's been a highlight for me as well in this season. She was going back and forth with that starting libero spot. Of course, Keno now has the opportunity to use 2 liberos, and in that Texas match, switched her into that spot, and she was a big reason for the win for me.
And also, too, when you look back at the Texas match, that what's interesting is the Longhorns up 2-0 out of the gate. You figured, okay, you know, good effort, but 3 consecutive sets won, just an amazing job. And also Keno picked up his 200th win in his career against Texas. Hurricanes getting a point there, cut it back down to 2. And just, you know, you say to yourself, Keith, that, yeah, you pick up some wins during the season, but then you beat a team like Texas, you know you can beat anybody.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
That's exactly right. They have to keep that as a positive. Of course, a big win or a big loss, you want to shake it off immediately. But like you mentioned, there is nothing better than playing a big team and getting that win and then having that confidence going forward.
Absolutely, and the Canes here looking to cut it back down to 1. Already Cologne sends it over the net. Rodriguez sets it up for Carney. And from the back row, Weeks for Arkansas. Thurman puts it down again.
Ooh-wee.
Yep.
How about that for a rally? Now we're starting to get into it. Now the match is starting to feel exciting. Rallies like this show you exactly what's at stake here. I mean, both these teams trying to start out their season with a really good record. Neither one wants to drop anything here. Aggressive play, I like it.
And also, I was on the match last year when Miami played North Carolina. Ramani Thurman played, and she played very well in that one. So she's back here and doing good things for Arkansas. The Razorbacks up 3. And Arkansas 4 hits there, so point for the Hurricanes. And Ava Carney will serve for Miami. Again, the Canes looking to get a few points to tie things up. Arkansas has held that 2 3-point lead, it's felt like, for a little bit. Block there at the net. The Razorbacks can't get it over as Hui hits it into the net, and the Hurricanes now trail by 1, 14-13.
Yeah, Hui just trying to do a little too much there. That wasn't necessarily the moment to swing down. You're off the net, you're falling backwards. That's the moment to try and just keep it in play.
And service error there on Ava Carney. So point for the Razorbacks, 15-13. And with that being said, we're going to step aside. Arkansas leading Miami 15-13. Opening set of the 305 Challenge here in Coral Gables.
This is the ACC.
6 of those wins in straight sets for the Razorbacks. On the flip side, with the Hurricanes, it is longtime head coach Jose Keno Gondara, 12th season. And right now, the updated numbers, 201 wins. Number 200 came against Texas. He was honored before the match. And Keno, a mainstay here in Coral Gables, Keith.
Yeah, and he's been fantastic for the program. He brings a lot of experience, and I like how he recruits as well. A lot of international players here coming to Coral Gables.
So Arkansas with the 2-point lead here. And Rodriguez up to Lopez, and that's right out of the timeout. A point the Hurricanes needed. Back down by 1, 15-14.
There you go. Speaking of international players, Lopez, one of those players from Puerto Rico, and Keno actually went down there to recruit another player, his libero, and that's when he saw her playing and said, you know what, I'm gonna keep an eye on this girl. Glad he did.
Yeah, and Grace has played well ever since last season. Nice job there by Rodriguez. Usually she's the one setting it up, but she found the opening there, gets a kill to tie things up at 15.
You love to see a setter attacking, and Rodriguez, one of those really aggressive players, still young, but how about this? In the Olympics this summer, that's something to put on your resume.
With the Dominican Republic, absolutely, and on a big stage there in Paris. Things all tied up at 15 here in the opening set, and Arkansas rebounds there with a point. Nia Madkin, she's played well so far in this opening set with 3 kills, and the Razorbacks back up by 1.
And that's a good choice to go there to the outside, knowing that Rodriguez is up front, the smaller blocker, the 5'10" setter. She's not going to put up that much of a threat against the number 9 Madkin.
Avery Callum serving for Arkansas. There's Lopez again. playing very well here in this opening set. Another kill for her.
Yeah, and you watch how she swings long every time. She's never looking for the floor in the 3-meter line. She's always looking for sidelines or end lines. That's where she's finding success.
And one thing you mentioned earlier is that, you know, with a service error there on the Canes, that she's mixing it up. There, she went the opposite way. She's staying on the same side. Like, you don't know where she's going to hit it. She's not just going to hit it on the same side all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's so difficult to defend against a good player. The blockers and the defenders can't stay in the same spot every time.
So Arkansas back with the lead after that service error, up 17-16. Canes still trying to just take the lead here. Lopez goes down the line. Out of play. Let's see if Keno's going to challenge it. He's got the... Keno's going to challenge this one, I believe.
Ooh, interesting, because he's looking at his players and they're saying, no, that ball's out. Usually you want to trust your players. They've got a really good view of it, pretty close. Maybe you saw something we didn't.
Let's see.
So she might have been looking for the hand. She definitely was, but from where I'm standing, that ball's out.
No, it's out.
Yeah, I do appreciate a player that's going to go for the hands like that. That's not an easy shot by any means. Look how far inside she is. She's cutting that ball, getting underneath it, around it, trying to get the hands exactly what she wanted to do, but just missed by a hair, I think.
And what's always hard with this is even last season there were a lot of challenges, and you see how fast the ball travels hitting the line. This isn't tennis where it's this, they have the replay with the little ball, like it hits so fast that it's like, does it barely hit it? Who knows? But I think that one is not going to get reversed. And we already have a decision. I don't think it's going to get reversed.
Although having said that, Keno's maybe just trying to slow some things down, have a chat with his team. You can use these challenges for more than just the reason of getting the point. There's a lot that goes into it. Oh, hang on a sec.
Okay, I'm wrong.
They might have been challenging net touch. We weren't even talking about that. We were talking all about ball in or out, but I think they got the net touch from the blockers.
I will say, and I don't have the statistics to back it up, but at least last season, Keno was pretty good in the challenges. Like when he pulls out that card, he's probably going to win it most of the time, it feels like. So the Canes tie things up at 17, and with that being said, a service ace there for the Canes. So they're back in front now, 18-17, as Heredia Cologne picks up a big ace for the Canes. So they fought back now to take the lead.
How do you like that for a coach's point? Call that challenge, get the point, and then get your player to get an ace.
Here's Heredia Cologne again. That one goes long, so you go from an ace to an error, tied up at 18. You know what? I know this is almost being dramatic in a way, but you say, if it worked out where they get this set, does that shift things a little bit? Just that one timeout, that one challenge, and all of a sudden now you go back to taking the lead. We'll see. Still got a ways to go, but we'll see. We'll keep that in mind later on. Carney picks up the point there for the Canes.
Well, to your point, I actually 100% agree with you. I think little shifts in momentum here and there can make a huge difference, and especially that reversed a 2-point advantage, and now Miami has a 1-point advantage. So those 3 points shifted massively here at the business end of the set.
Yes, if the Hurricanes get it, we'll look smart. If Arkansas gets it, it meant nothing. So we'll see how it goes. 19-18 lead for the Canes. Hogue up to Thurman, blocked at the net. Hogue's going to try it again over to Thurman, and she picks up another kill, her 5th so far of the opening set.
Yeah, I like that Hogue goes back to Thurman there. And again, she's going to keep needing to use her. And lovely, lovely cut there just inside the block, utilizing that range that we talked about earlier.
19-19, really no surprise with these two teams. A combined 14-3 so far in the season. Good first set here in Coral Gables. Rodriguez up to Carney. Thurman keeps it in play. And then from the back row, Heredia Cologne went long. Point for Arkansas.
Cologne and Lopez, both similar style players in that they love tagging that end line. And sometimes it's going to go a little bit long. That's just the risk that you take. But that's their style of play, and they go 100% every time. Razorbacks
back up by 1, 20-19 here in the opening set. Lopez, another kill for her, her 6th of this set. So Thurman and Lopez have gone back and forth with the kills. We're tied again at 20. And Lopez will serve now for Miami. Another kill for Thurman. Feels like this is like a back and forth, not only with these two teams, but with Thurman Lopez.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it always is. The opposites are always going to be a big part of the aggression in both teams. We knew they're big pin hitters. What's interesting as well, Arkansas have Jill Gillen, who is a former player on their side, and she's been giving that mentorship to these players and watching as they're advancing and as they're growing. And Thurman is someone who I think has learned a lot from having her on the sidelines.
And Gillen, who was an All-American for the Razorbacks last year, 28-6. Arkansas went to the Elite Eight last season, so this is a pretty good team. They lost their top 3 players, as you mentioned, Gillen now an assistant. So this Arkansas team still playing well in spite of a lot of new faces on the team. Another big kill there for Heredia Cologne, tied at 21.
That's the big gun. That's the arm that Miami needs to keep utilizing. She has a whip of an arm, and when she puts her full power behind it, it really doesn't matter if there's a block in front of her or not. In that instance, again, going for that deep corner, continuing to find that spot.
Miami back up by 1, 22-21. Carney will send it over. That one, Heredia Cologne once again. Big block there, go by 2.
That's a big block for Miami, a one-on-one. And the swing of Arkansas is not a bad one there. It's just definitely right into the hands of the block.
23-21 lead.
With that will come the rewards as well. Throughout the season, you want to establish yourself with some kind of style of play. Both these teams are very aggressive.
Grace Lopez hitting 625 so far in this first set. Romani Thurman hitting 300. And the Canes 2 points away from taking this first set as Carney serves for the Hurricanes. And big point there for Hui to keep Arkansas now within 1, and she's going to serve for Arkansas. So the Razorbacks, who again led for most of this first set, Hurricanes came back to take the lead. Now the Razorbacks an opportunity to tie things up here.
Saw the cameraman waving in the background there. Hi, how are you?
That one's out. Is there a tip? No tip. Well, let's see. Keno, I think we're going to go to the challenge. Yes.
Well,
all right, let's go back to the replay.
He's trusting his team in this instance again. Have another look at it. He has the opportunity to do so. Where this, again, we talked about game-changing moments and momentum shifts. Right here is a big one. So let's have another look at this. There's the swing, and I like that one step backside. Ooh, that could be a touch for me. Very tough to tell from that angle. You got to look and see if you see some hands, some fingertips shifting. Tough to tell, tough to tell. Oh, yeah, I think right there, that
like
third finger, yeah. I love watching it backwards in slow motion because you'll see a really awkward movement and then you know for sure whether there's something going on there. But either way, I like this swing. It's a bold swing, right? It's deep, it's wide. It's a back set that we haven't seen this from Miami yet. The setter moving forward and the middle running that right behind. We haven't seen a whole lot of middles action on the Cane side or either side, really.
So Dahlia Wilson with the swing there, and we'll see if this gets reversed. Right now it's 23-23. It'll be 24-22 if this goes Miami's way. So again, Keno 1 for 1 with the challenges, and let's see what they say.
Both teams playing so well right now. It's just the little things.
Okay, so the point does go to Miami. So 2 reversals in this opening set. And now all of a sudden it's 24-22 with set point here for the Hurricanes.
A big one.
Yep.
That is a big change of momentum.
We'll see Moisiu back on the service line for the Canes. Block there at the net. It's going to stay. We're going to keep going. Arkansas picks up the point, trailing by 1.
Again, that big swing right into the setter position. Rodriguez doing her best to get a touch on that, but Arkansas are going aggressive from that zone every single time that the setter's front row.
Another set point here for the Canes. Callum serves the Razorbacks. Rodriguez up to Heredia Cologne, and there is the first set. Goes to the Miami Hurricanes, 25-23. Back and forth, but the Hurricanes go up 1-0. From the challenges, it worked out, and the Hurricanes will serve here as Rodriguez back for the Canes.
Oh, great touches.
Look at Lopez putting it back over the net. Good job by her to keep it alive. Carney can't get that one returned, so Arkansas, second straight set, they pick up the first point.
Great block by Arkansas. Good movement. 2 players, 4 hands over the net, taking away the space. Great start for Arkansas.
And Zoe Evans from Tampa, she's back in the state of Florida. She picks up that point there for Arkansas as the Razorbacks taking the 1-0 lead. And we saw it early in the first set. It felt like a lot of play at the net, and then we didn't really see it later on in the first set, it felt like.
Yeah, everything is kind of developing. There's a lot more going on. There's so many things happening at once, but yeah, a lot more blocking needing to happen on both sides.
Hogue sets up for Thurman. Thurman had 6 kills in the opening set. There's Evans again. That one drops in, so Evans a couple kills there. Arkansas with a couple points here to go up 2-0.
And Watson was talking about all last season and in this season as well, wanting to use that middle a little bit more. So we're seeing it develop, and just a little bit out of each middle can go a long way, especially when the ball is always going to the pins.
And Hogue with the serve for Arkansas. And the Canes can't get it over there. So 3 in a row out of the gate for the Razorbacks. And I have Madkin. She's played well so far. 4 kills early on. And the Razorbacks bouncing back from losing the first set up 3-0 here early in the second set.
Hogue back at the line again. She's already got 1 ace under her belt.
Yeah, 11 aces so far on the season, at least entering tonight. And with that being said, you had the announcer jinx. Good job. So
Sorry,
service error, first point for the Hurricanes. You know, you always mention this at the beginning of a broadcast, series history. There is no series history. It's the first time they're meeting. So Miami and Arkansas, 2 named programs, never played each other before. So first time they are ever meeting. And Heredia Cologne with the service error there. So back-to-back service errors on each side. And Arkansas will take it back up 4-1.
And it's interesting, on paper, an error is an error, right? But an error that goes long or deep, that one coaches are all right with. The ones in the net, those sting.
It's 3 in a row. That one went long.
Yeah, but at least, so
yes.
my point,
okay, yeah, go ahead.
My point was just that you can at least assume that maybe one of the players will stab an arm at it, or there might be some communication.
Yeah, you can do nothing going into the net. If you go long, who knows what will happen exactly. So 4-2 lead for Arkansas. Thurman blocked at the net there by Carney. Nice job. So somebody finally figuring out Thurman.
That's reminiscent of set number 1 in the early stages, that really aggressive outside block. And those 2 have been pairing up, matching up really nicely this match.
4-3 lead now for Arkansas. Canes looking to tie it here. There's Rosado with the serve for the Canes. Thurman with the soft touch there. Cologne can't get it over from the back row. Goes into the net, and Arkansas regains a 2-point lead.
And that one's frustrating if you're Miami, because they did such a good job of blocking that first one. Then the next one is a tip. So that should, in theory, be an easy read. It is. Rosado's underneath it, gets it up. So that miscommunication on that point stings even further than if it were a difficult dig.
Weeks back to serve for Arkansas, up 2. Another one that goes long. So some service issues here on both sides in the second set. And the Hurricanes will take that point, and they trail by 1. Lopez goes long. So how do you fix this? How do you almost say get it in play just to kind of get some momentum back?
I think both these teams want to establish themselves as strong serving teams, and you just can't take anything off. Yes, the more and more errors creep in, they will want to bring that back to earth, but for now, they want to establish a really aggressive service start.
And Thurman with that serve there. Hogue. Rosado digs that one out. Had a lot of good rallies so far tonight. That one goes long, no touch there. Pettis sent it out, and a point for Miami.
Miami doing a much better job of keeping things at the net in control. So it happened in the first part of that first set. They were really dominant at the net, and now we've seen a lot more. They're forcing some errors out of the Arkansas side.
Carney with the serve for the Hurricanes. That one's going to drop in there. Hui. We can talk about Thurman all night, but Hui's played well also. She now has 6 kills.
And look how far Hannah Hogue is off the net, having to fling that out there. So she almost only has that shot open, that roll across her shoulder.
7-5 lead now for the Razorbacks here in the second set. Miami took the first set 25-23. And Hui back to serve for Arkansas. That's a second kill tonight for Rodriguez. She had 1 in the opening set, and the setter now with 2 kills. Big one there. Hurricanes down 1.
And I think she plays beyond her years. She has the kind of wisdom of an international setter. And again, we know she played with the Dominican Republic in that international game, and she brings that to Miami, even though she is just her first year starting. She redshirted last year.
Yeah, you don't just expect, oh, you're going to set. You mix it up a little bit. Now a couple kills for her, and gets the Hurricanes back within 1. Lopez with 6 kills early on. That's her first kill of the second set. Ties things up at 7.
The other thing about a setter attacking is that can give confidence now to the other players. So she's now holding the blockers there, and you can see that wide. It kind of opened up that space for Lopez because Rodriguez is a threat.
Moisia with the serve for the Hurricanes. Nice dig there by Feliciano. Paula Gushing. She sends over for Miami, seeing her first action here in the second set for the Canes. Arkansas kept it alive. Back row attack there. Had a lot of rallies tonight so far through the first 2 sets. Hogue sets that one up for Pettis, who finds the back corner there. Arkansas up 8-7.
And I got to go back to that pickup there by Jackson. She steps in to take that free ball before she had, taken something really difficult. She's really leading the ship here. She's steering it, and Coach Watson has spoken about her leadership role on the court. That's a perfect example of how a libero can change a match.
Nice job there on the overpass by Zoe Evans. Played well so far in the second set, and the Razorbacks back up by 2.
I love continuing to see the middles get involved. Every time they get a chance to swing, I'm happy about it.
Lopez, big back row attack from her. Second kill of the set. And Miami trails by 1, 9-8.
Rodriguez starting to feel her hot hand. It's definitely Lopez. And we mentioned her needing to warm up into the match. She's gotten better and better every single time she touches the ball.
And what's interesting, too, is there's a service ace by Rodriguez. She continues to play very well here tonight.
That's a fantastic serve. Getting 2 players not only to look at each other, but take a step away from each other. That's the way to serve aggressive.
And Rodriguez with an ace, with a couple kills besides her assists. And the Canes tied up at 9. Gushing, her first kill of the night. The senior who played at Hawaii last year. She gets involved and gives the Canes a 10-9 lead.
And she's another player who came in during that Texas match, made a really big impact, picking up a lot of tips, getting some shots. So may not be a starting role player as of yet, but certainly can make an impact.
Another big kill there for Madkin. Anaya Madkin entered the night 69 kills on the season, 5 so far tonight, ties things up at 10. I want to tell you this one, Keith, that we mentioned the first set with Lopez and with Thurman. Thurman has no kills yet in this second set. Lopez with 2, so a lot of other players stepping up here in the second set on both sides.
Yeah, and that's important, right? You got to involve all your players. I mean, Lopez is going to run away with it if Rodriguez keeps giving her the ball. But I like that Arkansas has been utilizing their middles, has been utilizing some different positions. You cannot just rely on one player.
Right.
However, if your player's hot, keep giving it to her. So there's two different theories. There's a lot to think about if you're the setter.
Yeah, when you have your top players getting it, and then who else is going to step up, that's going to be big. And right now for the Hurricanes, they're getting a lot of different players stepping up. Lulick there at the net.
Yeah, Lulick was big against Texas. She had 6 blocks. She's coming in from Croatia, another one of those international players. And this is what I love about the Miami team, is that all those different styles of play combining to be a really, really aggressive force.
Matkin blocked at the net again by Lulick. A couple points for her, 2-point lead for the Canes. Actually now by 3, 13-10.
Let's go, middle blockers. I love to see a 6'5" middle that knows how to use her shoulders, that inside arm all day.
Thurman blocked at the net. Look at that, 3 for 3 for Lulick. So all of a sudden now Miami up by 4. Jason Watson calling timeout on the Arkansas side. Lead for Miami here in the second set, 14-10 over Arkansas. Canes took the first set, 25-23. Looking to go up 2-0 here in this set. And Arkansas cannot get that one in play as Madkin hits that one out. Another point for the Canes, so out of the timeout, now 15-10.
Aggressive from the service line. We talked about how Miami was making a few errors, but now it's paying off, right? This is why they're getting Arkansas in all sorts of trouble with that serve, is what starts it.
And Lopez, nice job sent back by Arkansas. We'll see if Lopez can do it again here. The tip, Arkansas keeps it alive. There's Thurman, doesn't have a kill yet in this second set. Wow, Arkansas keeps digging it out. Thurman goes long. And a point for the Canes, so a 16-10 lead. Arkansas, decent start here in the second set, but now all of a sudden it's all Miami.
And Miami's looking really strong, really fit. I actually had a chat with their strength and conditioning coach, Colin Corcoran, before the match, and he's giving them a lot of creative plays to get them moving their feet, a lot of jumps, a lot of strength. It's getting them in a good position in this preseason.
And Arkansas can't get that one over. Lulick, she's been the story of the second set here. Played very well to give Miami now a 7-point lead.
And it all factors into each other, right? That service aggression from the end line makes it so much easier as a middle blocker. That's what I remember anyway, if you're in that middle spot.
Gushing with the serve, it goes long. Service error for the Canes. And Arkansas picks up a point there that they desperately need to slow things down, now down 17-11, as Courtney Jackson will serve for the Razorbacks, the senior from Olathe, Kansas. That one, seems there a tip there. No, it goes out. Point for Arkansas.
You can see Rodriguez in the back there, just doing her best to put that into a hittable position. I mean, that's a tough shot by any means. But again, Miami have established themselves as a team that's going to swing. They're going to go for those corners, even if it's not a perfect set.
So a couple points in a row here for Arkansas to cut it down to 5 at 17-12. Jackson back to serve for the Razorbacks. First in the team in digs, 165 entering tonight. Lopez goes, there's a tip there. Okay, so point for Miami.
Lopez, so much ability to score, so much range. She's really high in her consistency level. She had to give up that red shirt, right? Last year, she had a conversation with Keno. He said, we might redshirt you. She said, I want the opportunity to fight for a starting spot, ends up as an All-American. I think it was the right choice.
She was great last year, absolutely great, and even better this year. Blocked there at the net for Carney. Done it a couple times against Thurman. 19-12 lead for Miami. Another timeout here for Arkansas. And we're going to stay put with the Hurricanes up by 7. 19-12.
I really like what I've seen so far from both these teams. I mean, well, that's something I noticed in the Texas match for Miami. The first couple of sets, those balls were going out. They weren't nailing those aces, but as the match progressed, the serving got tougher and tougher, and it just became harder for Texas to run the offense they wanted to. So that big win starts with tough serving.
Thurman with 6 kills. It all came in the first set for Arkansas. Madkin has 5. Also, Hui has 5 as well. There's Hui there at the net. In the back row, Gushing. They'll try it again there with Wilson. Thurman finally breaks through. Her first kill of the set. 19-13. Hurricanes. I will say this though too, Keith. We'll go to the replay first.
How's that for a set? Your libero just stepping in, jump set, beautiful hands.
We've seen a lot of rallies tonight. That's the one thing. That's the one thing that we've noticed throughout is that there's been a ton of rallies with these teams. We're just seeing a lot of good play back and forth.
Yeah, that's what you want to see in these kind of preseason tournaments. They are here to prepare each team for the season when it comes. So you don't want to have an easy preseason by any means. And these two teams knew coming in here it was going to be a battle.
There's Carney with the tip there. She can't get it over. And Arkansas with the point there, trailing 19-14. So a couple in a row for them. And you don't want to let them back into this one. That you've built up this nice lead here in the second set. And you definitely don't want it where it slips away and Arkansas all of a sudden ties things up at 1 after you played so well. Bit of a misread there. Service ace. We talked about the serve. That one Arkansas got, and Keno is going to try to slow things down here. A couple points in a row for Arkansas as they trail now 19-15. So what would you be saying?
Swing blindly into a block, but you do want to be aggressive and keep putting that pressure on the other team. And I think that's probably exactly what Keno's saying is, hey, we are in a position to continue putting pressure on our team. Let's not let those little things like a ball dropping between 2 players get us on the back foot.
Kylie Weeks serving for Arkansas. Razorbacks down 4. Nice dig there by Rosado. Both sides keeping it alive. Pettis at the net. Hogue back up to Pettis. Sent back over by Rosado. This time Pettis gets it done. Took her a couple chances, second on the team in kills. She gets that one there, so Arkansas creeping back into this one now, down 3.
And I guess there's one example, right? Rosado had to send a free ball over, but you want to choose your position. Maybe make the opposite play it. Maybe make the setter play it. The libero just steps in, takes an easy free ball. It's almost a guaranteed point for the other team. 19-16
lead for Miami. Carney sets up for Gushing. That one hits the floor. They try to pancake it, wouldn't work. Big point for Miami. You still got a ways to go, but ended the momentum there with Arkansas, who was coming back. So the Hurricanes now serving with Lopez up by 4. So if they can get one here, maybe get a little more breathing room here in the second set. Lopez serves that one into the net.
Well, another point I was thinking on that last point was the miscommunication was just a hesitation step between Jackson and Hogue, and those 2 players should know each other better than anyone on the court of Arkansas, so it really gives you a little bit of an insight into what's going on the Arkansas side.
Here's Lo Jones back to serve for Arkansas. Carney sends that one over. And the free ball there for Arkansas. Once again, Carney. Big point there in the back corner.
Excellent connection there, and you see Rodriguez having to move forward in this position. She's almost outside of the U there on the floor, so just a little shot. She has a lot of speed added to that, and it's able to beat the block.
And Carney, who grew up right outside of Pittsburgh, with the serve there for the Canes. Another one into the net.
Well, the question is whether or not those will come back to bite Miami. So far, they can get away with it. They can afford to be aggressive there, but having a look at those service errors, 9. Is it too many? Well, it depends. Only time will tell.
Exactly. If you lose, then it will be. If you win, it still's a lot, but at least you won. So that's how you can cover it up. So the Canes up 3 here. Hui, she goes long. 22-18 lead for the Canes. 3 points to go up 2-0 over Arkansas.
And again, a point missed here in the business end of the set can be a little more valuable than a point missed at, let's say, 1-1 or 2-2.
Exactly. It's a little more important here. Moiso with the serve for the Canes. That one goes long. So 22-19. It's definitely the last thing you want is to just give away points at this juncture of the second set. And the Canes, a big point there with the touch as Gushing gets it over. 23-19. She's played well here in the second set.
Yeah, that's a beautiful swing right into that corner pocket. That's exactly where you want to swing. Its defense is hard to get there. The blockers, it's hard to touch. That's a really elite level swing.
And Gushing now 3 kills in this second set. Alanis Vieira back to serve for the Canes. 2 points away from taking the second set. Over to Evans, and Evans shoots that one out of bounds. So now the Canes in a position to go up 2-0. 24-19 lead here in the second set over the 8-1 Arkansas Razorbacks. Here's Vieira. Can't get it over.
Ooh, sigh of relief there for Arkansas. And Hoag's trying to force some things. She's trying to use something, but nothing seems to be working on the Arkansas side.
And Hoag trying to keep it alive here for the Razorbacks, down 24-20. Gushing. The tip. Arkansas keeping it alive here. Nice dig there by Rosado. That one goes out of play. Gushing finishes off a solid set. And the Hurricanes up 20, or win it 25-20.
And I think she's really doing a great job.
And Hui gets the service ace out of the gate for Arkansas. So Arkansas, the one thing we'll say about them, they picked up the first point all 3 sets so far tonight. So they got off to good starts. We'll just see how that carries through. And we talk about all the service issues, and a service ace out of the gate for Olivia Hui. And 1-0 lead for Arkansas. And do you have a broadcaster jinx? I just had a broadcaster jinx. So service error there for the Razorbacks, and it's 1-1 here in this third set with Gushing back to serve. Block there at the net. Hoag sends it over, and that will work for Arkansas. So we've seen the setters picking up points on each side. Rodriguez on the Hurricane side with 2, and Hoag with the point there to give the Razorbacks back the 1-point lead.
Yeah, that's a veteran move, and Hoag is such a top setter. She was multiple time setter of the week last year and over her career, and she really last year really only got to shine. They've started playing a 5-1 for the first time, and you're really seeing that she can take that role and go with it.
Callum digs it out for Arkansas. Block there at the net. Lopez and Lulick involved. Lulick continues to play well. So
there's that block again. That's exactly who we were talking about in the timeout.
2-2 here in the third set. Hurricanes taking the first 2 sets. See if they can go for the sweep of Arkansas. And Rosado with the serve for the Canes. Tip there by Matkin. And from the back row, it's Gushing. So Gushing, we didn't see her in the first set, but she's definitely stepped up of late and playing well for the Canes. And it gives back the lead.
I love that communication piece as well that we're seeing. We saw a couple of players step in, take the ball, just talking and calling each other off. That's what's going to win you games.
And Rosado with the serve for the Canes. That one, see the tip there, point for Arkansas.
Arkansas just have to continue chipping away. They can't get mentally discouraged, I think, after 2 sets. I don't think they will. I think they're a professional team. I think they're high-level players, and especially with the likes of Hoag at the line now, and we've seen a couple of aces from her, continue putting pressure on Miami from the service line.
Tip there by Wilson at the net. And that one put down there by Zoe Evans. Called her name earlier, and she gives Arkansas back the lead at 4-3.
And I like her from in front of the setter. That's a great shot to use her by Hoag. Hoag's really trying to get those middles established more. It's been hot and cold, but she's got to keep trying.
Carney sends it over for the Hurricanes. There's Thurman. She picks up her first kill here of the third set. Hurricanes don't want her to get going, but Arkansas up now 2-5-3.
Yeah, she's been having some success. Again, she got shut down by a few blocks right in that position, and that can really get in a player's head. And I just wonder if she's now kind of battling not only the block on the other side, but her own insecurities. Those can creep up on you.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes with this Razorback team, looking to keep this alive here in this third set. And Hogue back to serve for the Razorbacks. And Lopez picks up another point there for the Hurricanes. Continues to remain consistent for this Miami team. They're down 1.
Lopez, another one who played for her Puerto Rican national team, said it was an honor. Special moment, not only for her, but for her mom, for her dad, for her brothers. She comes from a family of volleyball and kind of describes her as graceful. I don't know if that serve was particularly graceful, but everything else she's done so far, very impressive.
Your name is Grace, you gotta be graceful, simple as that. So service error on the Canes, 6-4 lead for Arkansas. That one goes long for Wilson. And the Razorbacks pick up another point to go up 3. That's the thing too, is that Arkansas, they're down 2-0, but they've had opportunities. This isn't like Miami has completely steamrolled them so far. They've had their opportunity, they just can't build on it. Carney. Big point there in the corner.
And Miami's starting to give a few points here and there. They looked really, really clean towards the end of that set. Now we're starting to see some errors creep in, but I think the goal of Miami has to be to continue to be aggressive, let those errors happen, but build as you go throughout the set.
Hogue sets it up for Hui. Nice dig there by Rosado. Carney with the tip. Another good block at the net. Ooh. Arkansas on the free ball there. But the Razorbacks will take the point. Again, in these rallies, we're seeing so many of them tonight, and Arkansas on the finishing end of that one.
And I've seen that a few times from Gershing. Sometimes she gets a little under the ball. She has a little too much enthusiasm with it, let's say, especially when it's a well-formed block. You have to respect that, especially when it's Thurman in front of you.
Razorbacks up 3 here in the third set.
Oh.
Gushing once again.
I'm impressed, beyond impressed, that Rodriguez goes back to her player who just got stuff blocked. She says, no, 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 I trust you. I believe in you. Let me get you a better ball, and I know you're going to kill it. And that's exactly what you want to see in a teammate.
She now has 6 kills, didn't play the opening set, so she's been a big contributor here for the Hurricanes, down 2. Nice job there by Moisiu. The serve grazed the net, and Arkansas a little thrown off there. So they'll take that ace, 8-7. They trail now here in this third set.
Wow.
There's a kill there by Pettis. Her 4th of the night.
Miami taking a little bit off from the service line. That ball dropping sort of in the center of the court. An easy pass there for Arkansas. And you know they're going to get their medal going. That's what they keep trying to do all match long.
Thurman with the serve for the Razorbacks. Gushing. Tip there for Arkansas. Point for the Hurricanes.
Clever swing going just for the fingertips. I mean, that's a high swing. We talked about earlier her going down into the middle of the block. She learned her lesson. Now she's going high, looking for those fingertips.
Canes with an opportunity to tie things up here. Rodriguez the serve. Hui sends it over. Arkansas reset things again with Hui. Lopez into the ceiling, still in play.
Where'd it go?
And they'll redo it. So so the first one of the season that goes in the ceiling.
They were ready for it though. Right,
yes, they knew that.
Waiting. Nope, it never came. Like the Titanic.
I will say this. I certainly hope that we're not going to be playing for a little longer unless I see a ball dropping down and that rolls off in the middle of play. So they will redo things here. 9-8 lead for Arkansas in the third set. Don't hit the ceiling again.
Tough serve.
Yeah. Rodriguez up to Gushing. Nothing there. We talked about Lopez all night, but Gushing, great contributor here. Last few sets for the Canes, tie things up at 9.
Yeah, she's been a fantastic contribution so far. And they need that, right? They need some balance on the pins from Lopez on one side. You've got to have that strong swing on the other side as well.
Rodriguez with the serve for the Canes.
Whoa.
Service ace. She's been everywhere tonight. Couple aces. Look at that.
That's phenomenal. And you know why she's given the green light from Keno to just go for it? You see her not sort of zoning in as she goes. She gets better and better, puts more power on it, just feels free to swing away.
Back-to-back aces for Rodriguez. So the first one grazed the net. The second one, powerful.
And this is what I mean about Miami getting better at their serving as the match progresses, especially if you're a top spin server. Your arms got to kind of warm up.
And also, too, almost, we're going to get to 3 in a row. We do.
Oh, what?
3 in a row. She'll take it. And you know what, Key?
Yeah.
3 different serves.
100%.
3 different ways that she did it. She didn't do it the same way 3 consecutive times.
That one just dribbling off the tape, and your point is exactly right. When you switch up the serve, you're aiming for different players. You're taking different speed off. Maybe your positioning is different. That time was more of a roll, and it was higher. I mean, if you're a receiver on the other side, on Arkansas's side, where do you stand? What do you look at? How do you move? The communication has to be so strong against a server like this.
You're saying just get a point, get her out of there. That's what you want to do because you want to keep seeing her serve. That we saw like a medium serve, a long serve, almost a short serve. All, let's see if we can do 4 in a row here.
Oh, still good.
You know what? Got the 3. Pettis with the point there for Arkansas, but still the Hurricanes very impressive with 3 consecutive points through the service aces. But Arkansas now, they will serve down 12-10.
And if I'm Miami, there's no chance I was thinking that ball was going to the middle on a slide behind.
Here's Hui back to serve for Arkansas. Lopez once again.
I'm loving the connection between these two. And you see Rodriguez having to move forward again. So that's a tough serve from Arkansas. Look, Rodriguez basically halfway through the U, and just a little lift, just a little bit of speed extra is enough to get Lopez a really good shot.
Back up to a 3-point lead for the Canes, Gushing the serve. Hogue drops that one in, dug out by Rosado. Cannot get that one as Madkin drops it in for Arkansas.
Hogue trying to take things into her own hands. Seeing that Rodriguez has had a couple of swings, she gets up there as well. Coach Watson, a lot of respect for his setter, said she's one of the best he's ever seen, and all the things that he wishes he could have been when he was a setter.
Hogue, when you look back at some of the numbers so far, each of the first 9 matches for the Razorbacks, 20+ assists. And also, she had back-to-back 50-assist matches earlier this season. So, so far, 346 entering play tonight. Gushing can't get that one.
Oh, go!
Still alive.
Come on! Are you kidding me?
Tip by Lopez.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you something interesting here. Gushing, great hustle. Keno was in the way, and almost it was like, you got it, coach, get out of the way.
I know, we're seeing the replay here, and that's a great heads-up play from Lopez, but we got to see the replay of Keno. Basically thought it was over.
Yeah, he's like, okay, and then she's like, move.
He's in the midst of it. That is an impressive move by Miami. That's that never-say-die attitude that gets them wins over a #1 team.
Yeah, they beat Texas a few weeks ago. Now looking for their second win over an SEC opponent tonight against Arkansas. Oh, great start here for the Canes in their home opener. Matkin.
Oh.
Nice job, dug out by Rodriguez. That one goes.
Yep.
Point for the Hurricanes. Let's step aside.
This is the play of the match for me so far. Have a look. There's the tip. You're not going to get to see it. It was just a few points before that, or just a few moments before that in that same play, but Keno had to sprint out of the way to get any kind of action there.
Well, it was Gushing that was going after the loose ball. It was by the Hurricanes bench, and Keno, in a sense, it seemed like, okay, this is out of play. It's going to the bench, and she's like, okay, can you, coach, take a step over. I need to continue the play here, and she kept it alive, and then Lopez finished it off. So good job there, and another ace there for the Canes at the net. There's Rosado. So I feel like after the timeouts, the Hurricanes have played, they've taken advantage. And that was a media timeout, but I feel like after the timeouts, they've always gotten a point tonight. Yeah. They're playing well out of the timeouts so far tonight.
Yeah, and they're getting the kind of the fall of the tape as well, those balls that are just trickling over.
And I will say, too, we talked about the service earlier, that it wasn't great. This third set, it's been unbelievable for the Hurricanes. They played much better. And there's a point there for Matkin. And Arkansas now down 4, but back to the serves, that a little shaky before, long, short. Now it's starting to work a little bit for the Canes.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with Rodriguez, the setter on Miami's side. Keno saw her play. He's seen her play as right side and as a setter, and he knows her father. They grew up playing together, so he knew already before she was a player that he was going to want her on his team. 15th
kill of the night for Lopez. 17-12 lead for the Canes. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, she had 20 kills against Texas in the upset over the Longhorns, who won the national championship last year, back a few weeks ago in Austin. And Lopez continues to shine for the Canes. She'll take a seat. Canes up 5 here. Vieira with the serve for the Canes. She was on the service line in the last set at the end. And a point there for Arkansas on the tip. So Thurman will take that one. We talk about this also, Key, in the second set, that the Canes got that 5-6 point lead. Arkansas got a couple in a row to come back. Like, you don't want this now where Arkansas is creeping back, especially when you can finish the set off.
I mean, if you're a Miami fan, you don't. If you're an Arkansas fan, you certainly do. But again, the only way they're going to do that is with aggressive serving like that, getting Rodriguez in a position to try and attack. They have to continue to be very strong from that end line.
Rodriguez up for Carney. She's blocked at the net. There's Zoe Evans. And Arkansas now within 3.
Excellent position there from Evans in the block. And I'm always looking at the middle blockers and their movements and their arms. And she's just finishing really strong in the face of her opponent.
Jackson serving for Arkansas. And Miami will get it back. Wilson with the kill.
Chef's kiss is what I like to call that play. That ball right on the head of the setter, a perfect reception. And again, Miami's been doing a pretty good job of getting Rodriguez in good positions, but then she uses that middle and it's really high over the block.
Carney the serve for the Canes, up by 4. A little miscommunication there, sent over by Jackson. Thurman.
Oh. Great up.
See, Gushing goes long on that one. Good. Again, Gushing, she's not quitting on these plays. Even though Arkansas got the point there, she's not quitting on it. We saw the play earlier, and right there, that could have easily just been done. But good hustle, even though it went out of play. So point for Arkansas.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about Miami having that sort of never say never attitude. The ball is still in play. It can be up. There can be a body underneath it. You're not seeing balls really kind of drop between two players. There's no miscommunication. You're seeing 2-3 bodies on the floor at all times trying to keep it alive.
Weeks with the serve for the Razorbacks. Rodriguez up to Gushing. Kept in play there.
Oh, defense.
Again, another rally. And Gushing picks up another point. We're seeing these rallies all night long.
And we're saying her name over and over. And I think you made the point earlier that she's got a really great range in terms of she's going cross one time, then she's swinging down the line off the hand. She's forcing the setter to play some tips and rolls. And I think the setters on, well, the setter on Arkansas's side is having a much more difficult time than Rodriguez is, especially in the reception.
Gushing, 9 kills, 5 digs. Pretty much in the last 2 sets. Canes up by 4. A little miscommunication there for Arkansas. Point for the Canes.
Trying to do a little too much there. Hogue, we talked about her wanting to force her middle and really try and get that running. It has been in spurts, but that might not have been the moment to use it.
Timeout, Arkansas. This is the world of college sports now. Transfer portal. This is not just volleyball. It's every sports. Football, it's basketball, it's everything, where you're going to have turnover every year. Yeah. And it's just what it is. And Arkansas is off to a good start. They have Romani Thurman came from North Carolina. That there are, it's just, you're going to have these growing pains. Even though you're 8-1, you're going to go to SEC play pretty soon, and it's not going to be easy. So, again, everyone's got to deal with this. The Hurricanes a 5-point lead here in this third set. Gushing blocked at the net, kept alive there by Arkansas. Hui sends it over. There's Lulick. We said her name a lot in the second set. Big point there to go up 6.
I cannot stress enough how impressed I am with Rodriguez. Finding her middle in that position, she's taken steps forward. The communication between the two of them to run a back one instead of a front one, crucial.
We see you with the serve for the Hurricanes. Thurman, big kill there for her. Arkansas is now within 5.
Hogue does a great job there. She opens that up, gets a one-on-one. There's nothing Lit could really do there. Takes one step, is a little bit late, but just a wide open swing for Thurman.
Razorbacks trail by 5 here in the third set. Lo Jones back to serve for the Razorbacks. Free ball sent over by the Razorbacks. Blocked at the net, and Arkansas will take that. Looked like kind of a broken play for the Razorbacks, but able to keep it alive, and they get the point.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep scrapping through, right? They just need to find a few more points here. It's certainly not over from Miami's perspective. They still have work to do.
4 points to go to finish this one off. For Arkansas has hung around all night. Weeks dug out there by Vieira. Point for Arkansas. Double hit on Gushing.
Yeah, I think maybe held that ball a little long in her hands. Maybe got a little sticky with it.
So Arkansas a couple in a row here to trail by 3. With Jones back in the service line. Set up for Gushing. She get it?
I think so.
Yep. Point for the Canes.
Huge heads-up play.
Jason Watson says no, he wants the challenge.
Oh, is this his first challenge?
Yes, it is, and it's interesting because I glanced over at the Arkansas bench, and the first thing that came out of his mouth was no. No, and he's like, I'm challenging this.
I mean, I like the challenge right now. I don't think it's completely off base here.
No,
but
not at all. Not at all.
Oh, he's spot on. There's no touch there.
Yeah, and look, with everything going on, and you talked about earlier the use of an impromptu timeout here, like you might as well take a shot at it. And look, we saw the Hurricanes, a couple challenges went their way, reverse things. If this works like that for Arkansas, then all of a sudden, okay, it worked out. I mean, if you don't do it, I mean, you might as well take the shot, use it or lose it.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. Shooters got to shoot. That's what they say. So you got to take a chance here, and that was a fast replay. So
I love watching the players' reactions, though. All of Miami is looking up at the ref saying touch. I think they knew. I think they knew what was going on, but
point
we'll see what we get.
Arkansas out of play. It's always when you see it that fast, you're figuring, okay, it's reversed. No touch, point to the Razorbacks. All of a sudden now they're down 2, 21-19. So we talk about momentum shift for Miami on earlier challenges. Can that be the same story for Arkansas? We'll see. Jones continues to serve for the Razorbacks. Gushing didn't really get a good handle on that one, but Lopez sends it over. Pettis. Point for Arkansas. They're all of a sudden down 1.
That's that same shot again, and I think I gave credit to Thurman earlier when it was actually Pettis who swung, but you see how there's the setter and the middle are front rows, so she's able to open up the net and make that a hitting zone that the blocker on the other side, in this case Lulid, just like you to shut down Pettis. That would be what I would be telling him.
5 straight points for Arkansas. It was 21-15 on the Lulick kill, and since then it's been all Razorbacks at 5 in a row, so big point both ways here. Jones with the serve. Up for Gushing. Dug out there by Weeks.
Oh.
And they just can't get it over, so out of the timeout. Another big point for the Hurricanes, so instead of it being 21-21 potentially, now you're back up to 22-20.
And that's kind of unlucky there because it's a great touch by the block, but Arkansas, again, that low ceiling here in Miami, making it really tough for them to get that second touch on it.
So the Hurricanes now 3 points away from pulling off the sweep of Arkansas.
And look who's at the service line.
Uh-oh.
Rodriguez, the acing machine.
That's right. She had 3 aces in a row earlier this set. We don't even know what she's going to do here because she mixed them all up last time. So it'll be a mystery to see what she does here.
Well, we knew she was going to go for it. That was guaranteed.
Hui. Set up there for Lopez. That one drops in. Big point for the Hurricanes, getting a few now, a little bit of breathing room.
Exactly how Keno scripted it. Get that tough serve, right? That's that identity that they're establishing. And then get that second ball up. The defense from Rodriguez, an easy step in for Rosado to just pop that up. And then again, so fantastic. As we mentioned, she redshirted last season, didn't get, you know, she hasn't had a chance to really show what she can do. She was the youngest player on that Dominican Republic Olympic team. She has experience, maybe not on the court of Miami, but she's showing what she can do.
And we'll see what she does here. A couple points for the Hurricanes, and they can finish off the 3-set sweep of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Still 2 to go. Rodriguez drilled that one.
Oh,
Good shot by Lulick. Gushing tries to keep it alive, but cannot. Goes out of play. Point for Arkansas.
That's a big one for Arkansas. That looked like things were going Miami's way there with that tough serve. Then it's coming kind of a free ball over. Rodriguez just making it easy for herself because she's the setter. She wants her passers to have an easy job. But Arkansas getting out of hot water there.
Here's Hui. 23-21 Canes. They went back to Gushing again, too.
Yeah. Middle, for sure.
Dug out there by Rodriguez. Give it to Lopez. That's the one. You got to. She's your star. Give her the opportunity there.
Yeah, she's definitely the go-to player. I was curious if that might have tagged the antenna. The referee didn't think so.
Let's see if Gushing can finish this thing off. 24-21 Canes. That one. A point there for Arkansas. There's definitely a touch there. Madkin with the kill.
I do like that Arkansas is continuing to be aggressive. They're not slowing down their arm. They're not taking off power. They're still aiming deep. They're going for those shots. And I think you have to. If you're against Miami right now, you can't just give a free ball.
Callum with the serve. Lopez, that one's long. The 24-23. Had an opportunity to close it out, but just went a little too far.
And you called it. Arkansas right now are targeting Gershing in the reception. They've identified her as a weak zone.
Callum. Rodriguez up for Lopez. Dug out by Rodriguez. Back to Lopez. Finishes it off for the win. The Miami Hurricanes, their first home match of the season, and they sweep the Arkansas Razorbacks. 25-23 in the final.